Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Brew. It is Friday. Your week is finally in the bag. And what a better way to start than by seeing my beautiful face. No, not my beautiful face. You care more about Jamie's beautiful face than you care about mine. But it is the Morning Brew here live on Brew Sports. We welcome you in. I am Baxter Colburn. That's Jaymee Evers. Jaymee, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. Good. Excited that it's Friday.
I know. The week I feel like it's kind of flown by. I know we've only been on the air 3 days this week, but still I feel like we've done so much in our 3 days that we've been together on the air, though. Doesn't it feel like that almost?
Yeah. A lot of learning in the last 3 days. A lot of stuff going in my brain.
A lot of stuff, a lot of craziness, but Brew Sports week one basically is almost in the bag. We've had so much great content. We've got even so much more happening later on throughout the day as well, too, so make sure you continue to come back throughout the day to check it out. But a special thanks to everybody that has made this opening week so exciting and so great, honestly, overall as well, too. If you want to interact with anything that we do during the broadcast, make sure you comment below on our stream here on Facebook. Of course, you can also use the hashtag Brew Sports as well to interact with us. I'm on Twitter at Baxter Colburn.
And I am at _Jaymee Evers.
_Jaymee Evers.
Nope, Jamie _Evers.
I was going to say, you're starting it with an underscore. I was like, holy cow. I just ____ J. Like, oh, okay. I don't know. People do the weird things with the underscore. That always throws me off. I'm like, just get a name that you don't have to throw an underscore in.
People, I don't know why I put an underscore. Well, probably because my name ends in 2 E's, and then my last name starts with an E.
Makes sense.
Too many E's.
Too many E's altogether. They'd be like Jaymee Evers. People would start to get confused. Be like, where does the name start and end?
Yeah.
People would probably call you like J, like Evers or something. Because if they didn't know you, probably.
Jaymee Evers.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That would be a little strange. But,
Would.
hey, blame your parents, I guess, for the weird name. I've got a name like Baxter. You spell your name differently than most people spell Jaymee as well, too. Did you ever ask your parents about that? Be like, why Jaymee?
I didn't until I started bartending. People were like, is that really how your name is spelled?
Yeah.
I'm like, yep.
Promise.
It's real.
Scout's honor.
It's on my birth certificate. My mom said she just wanted to find something different. It's pretty different.
And she got you.
Yeah.
So you are pretty different.
I am.
In a good way, of course. Mm-hmm. I mean, my parents named me after, my parents named me after their favorite restaurant in college.
Okay.
Fun fact.
Baxter.
Just Baxter's.
The restaurant.
Yeah, just Baxter's.
Okay.
They went to school in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and they're like, oh, we used to go to Baxter's all the time, and we loved it. And we were like, let's use that as our name for you. I'm like, okay.
Much more interesting of a story than Jaymee.
My parents were interesting when it came to a lot of this. I still don't know the story behind my middle name, Quentin. They said I think it was the name of some famous actor at the time's kid that they just had was Quentin. And they're like, oh, we like Quentin, so. I don't know. I kept Quentin for my son just because I'm like, well, I've got Quentin, so I'm going to give you Quentin. So we kept the same initials, so it makes sense.
It does make sense, yeah.
Depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, I'm Jaymee Marie. Super basic.
Super basic, but you're not a basic girl, though, are you? Though, are you super? Are you the pumpkin spice?
No,
like,
I hate pumpkin
Ugg
anything.
Boots?
I don't know. I used to have Ugg boots. Now
times have changed.
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
Super mature.
Gotcha.
Not basic.
I am a grown-up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. A couple of people saying hi to us on Facebook this morning. Good morning, Corey. Thanks so much for watching. Aaron says, I just apparently need to just get a new name. I'm not
super basic Aaron name.
Seriously, like, come on. That's like the most like common name, like Aaron,
Jake.
Brian, Jake, John, Will. Like, those are the most basic names you can possibly get. Like, at least mix it up and do like Aron or Erin. But that's more like your girl, though. It's like
Iran.
Iran or or H. A-I-R, like air on. There you go.
There.
Just anyway, if you've got a basic name you want to hear, comment from us below. Apparently Aaron's saying he was making fun of me for telling Jaymee how basically to get a new name. I wasn't saying you had to get a new name. I was just saying that your parents should have done better. No, I don't think. I'm not going to say that. I'm sure your parents are wonderful.
They're all right.
They raised you. You know, you turned out pretty good. You have a job. You're a stand-up citizen in society. For the most part that we know of. You're doing good stuff. All right, well, let's dive into some of the stuff here in our first segment, in our What's Brewing segment, where we bring you some of the hottest and most interesting stories to kick off your day. You went to school here in Wisconsin, right? You went to college in Wisconsin, basically. Yep. I went to school up here in Wisconsin as well, too. Did your campus have any fun, unique things that made your campus cool? Like, hey, guys, you should come to this school because we've got this. Nothing? You didn't have any like cool student union buildings or like levitating cafeteria
we had
tables?
Taco Bell. That was.
You had a Taco Bell in your campus?
Yeah.
Ugh, I'm sorry.
Right. Didn't eat there, but there wasn't any draw. No.
Nothing? Yeah, my campus didn't really have much of anything. I went to a small liberal arts college, so not a whole lot going on there either. But for those of you that go to the University of Central Florida, I lived in Florida for 8 years, so shout out to all my Golden Knights out down there. I actually don't like UCF, but whatever. That's besides the point. Apparently, UCF is deciding to step their game up a notch, and they're going to build a lazy river on their campus.
Yep, inside of their student village.
Student village. This isn't like the Olympic
athletes.
Village. So
probably about going to be similar, I would assume.
So I don't understand. So I mean, UCF is an okay school. They're most notable for football. Aside from that, they really don't do a whole lot in the sports world. But Florida, Orlando as a whole is a very big hub when it comes to the sports world as a whole. You've got a lot of professional athletes, a lot of professional teams, all that fun business. But putting in a lazy river in the middle of your school in your student village, basically, seems a bit much, doesn't it?
The student village in itself seems a little ridiculous. Like, you need a special place for these athletes to go to relax. Like, why can't the non-athletes use a lazy river? Like, that's what I'd be the most upset about, and I would definitely break in.
Well, this seems to be a trend in college sports as well, too. Oregon spent $138 million when they built one of their new complexes. It has ventilated locker rooms from Germany, Brazilian wood floors, and Italian lounge chairs in a barber shop.
Right.
I've got a barber shop.
That's what got me on that one.
Alabama, of course, Roll Tide. They countered with 4 waterfalls in their hydrotherapy room, an anti-gravity treadmill. Clemson threw another $55 million out as well, upgrading their facility to feature a mini golf course, a bowling alley, and laser tag.
And a slide.
And a slide.
Yeah.
How are these schools still winning national championships and doing things? I'd be like, sorry, guys, I'm bowled a 300. Was I supposed to be a practice coach?
Yeah,
My bad.
I also don't understand, like, if you're great, they're obviously doing this to attract athletes, right? So,
of course. I would assume so.
I mean, if I was good at football and there was a lazy river, I'd be like, you know where to find me, coach? Like, I would not do my homework. I would just lay in that lazy river, get my nice tan on.
Seriously.
But I don't understand if you're good, isn't that enough? Like,
I would like to assume so.
They don't get paid, so...
This is the thing, because they don't get paid, but you get all this other stuff. Good morning, Jonathan, on Facebook. Thanks for tuning in, by the way. You look at this, and you're just like, why?
Right.
Why do you need this? I get some of the facilities, like having the really good, things to recover as an athlete. Like, hey, we've got these... the anti-gravity treadmills, that stuff is important, especially for physical therapy and all that. But, you don't need a mini golf course. You don't need, if it's just for the athletes. I get it. If it's a school-wide thing where it's everybody can come and use our really cool, levitating pool tables or whatever, jetpack, whatever is your, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised after a while if that kind of stuff happens. But if the fact that you're limiting it just to the athlete village, I mean, I feel like there's going to be issues with people trying to sneak and be like, I promise I'm an athlete.
Right.
I'm going to just go ride the lazy river. Well, it's you play tennis.
Do you need a pass? What
what
about the badminton players that we're talking about in the Olympics? They had to start somewhere.
It's true.
Do they get to use the lazy river?
They better. If UCF has a badminton team, it'd be like, it's a sport.
Right.
But do the cheerleaders get to go play? Is the cheerleading a sport?
Yeah.
I'm sure
they better.
They'll find a way, I'm sure.
This is my +1.
Yes, yep, exactly. So kind of crazy, honestly. So basically, obviously they can't afford the $138 million that Oregon is doing, of course. But when you can put a lazy river in, you look at Florida as a whole, it's about $25 million is what it looks like.
I found on the Washington Post that in 2014, the top 5 power schools spent $772 million on athletic facilities.
God, shut the front door.
$772 million. The number is just...
So just to put this in perspective, so the $25 million that you're seeing that UCF is going to put into this, UNICEF could buy 29 million vaccines. Children of the nations could provide 2 million chickens for family to have self-renewing food resource. There's a lot of different things. Malaria kills around 450,000 people a year. Most of those children, could be then taken care of. Malaria shots are $250 a pop. So you feel like there's this money that could really go someplace else.
Right. Do they need a lazy river? They'll build their own lazy river
you live
once
in
they get to the
Florida.
NFL. Yeah.
Walk to the Atlantic.
The ocean's
go to a
right
community
there.
Pool.
Disney World.
Something. Happiest place in the freaking world, right?
Never been.
Me, I've been there once. It's overrated.
Yeah. I feel like it's crowded. I don't really care about princesses or like goofy. Yeah.
Fun fact. People don't understand, like, the Asian population loves Disney World. It's
probably
insane.
like the anime thing. It's people in costumes.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Liz apparently says that these figures are just pocket change. I mean, when you're a high roller like Liz is, I guess, you can afford to just throw your money around and build lazy rivers. I don't have a lazy river at my house.
Neither.
If we have this kind of pocket change and my wife isn't telling me about it, I would certainly love to put a lazy river in our house.
Liz, I had to bring my own creamer today, and you're talking about bringing lazy rivers around? Come on, girl.
Some people live a life different than the rest of us, I guess. But Aaron also says, well, when you're running a sweatshop like the NCAA athletics, there's tons of money to spare. And Liz agrees with that. And Corey says a sweatshop with waterfalls and lazy rivers. I mean, as long as you make your workers feel special, that's all that matters.
Right.
Be like, hey, you worked hard, you brought in billions of dollars for us. Here's a little waterfall.
Here's a pair of Beats and a
yeah, but we're not going to pay you.
Right.
You know, but here's a car. Kind of a thing, you know? So UCF is just triggering a lot of people, basically, when it comes to that. Some of the other things that are brewing this morning, have you seen the videos of the trick shot PE teacher?
I did, just a glance.
It's very interesting. So this guy is shooting trick shots, basically. He's a PE teacher, and he's just walking around the gym. He's using, like, baseball bats. If you've ever seen the Dude Perfect videos, it's very similar to that, but this is a gentleman that some people might say maybe isn't as qualified as what the guys at Dude Perfect do on a daily, weekly basis, basically. But, people were making the jokes saying just like, well, I would never want to be late to his class because, I mean, if he can do everything, basically, and then some, it's kind of funny. But it is always funny how it's like somebody makes a shot behind their head or somebody, like, hits a ball, like, with a golf club, hitting a basketball half court, and it goes in. It's like, oh, my gosh, like, our society is so, like, hungry for stuff like that.
Instant pleasure at the end when you're excited for them.
Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. Like, people do that in professional sports all the time. There was an OKC player that made a half-court shot last night at the buzzer. Like, good for him.
Yeah, and being a teacher, like, he's like, oh, I'm teaching them how to be healthy
yeah.
and showing them this cool stuff. Is it like, hey, guys, if you run a mile in under 10 minutes, I'm going to make this basket. Like, I liked gym class. Reason number one, I had the biggest crush on my gym teacher. Reason number two,
I was homeschooled. I didn't have that option.
Ooh, your mom didn't make you like set up like an obstacle course?
No. I'm saying I didn't have the option to have a crush on my teacher. That's considered weird and